Hello everyone, it's me, number 10, Time Portal in Nevada. In 2045, a group of scientists in Nevada were working on a top-secret project. They were trying to use quantum energy to send messages across vast distances instantly. Quantum entanglement is a strange phenomenon where two particles are linked together in such a way that they influence each other instantaneously, no matter how far apart they are. And this can happen with photons, the tiny packets of light. The researchers hoped that by sending entangled photons through fiber optic cables buried deep under the ground, they could communicate without any delay. But little did they know what was about to happen next. As they sent more and more photons through the cables, something strange began to happen. The air around the lab started to shimmer and distort, the lights flickered and died. Then suddenly, a massive explosion rocked the building as an interdimensional rift tore open in the middle of the room. The scientists had just created a time portal, and it opened up in the year 2091. The scientists were stunned. Before they knew what was happening, a humanoid-like creature walked out of the portal and into their lab. It looked around in amazement and seemed to be studying them intently. It was tall and slender with smooth gray skin and large black eyes. It was also emitting a faint glow that seemed to pulse in time with its movements. The creature took a few steps towards them before turning and walking out the door. The scientists quickly realized that this was not a dream. The creature was real, and it was not from this world. But where did it come from, and why did it visit them? The scientists decided to follow the creature outside, but what they saw next shocked them to their core. When the creature stepped out of the laboratory, it disappeared from sight. It was gone without a trace. The scientists were baffled. They couldn't believe what they had just seen. But they knew that they needed to investigate further. So they followed the creature's footprints into the desert sands and discovered something that would change their lives forever. What they found was a massive crater in the shape of a ring. It was perfectly round and about 10 feet in diameter. And at first glance, it didn't seem to have anything in it. But when they looked closer, they saw something that made their jaws drop. In the center of the crater was a huge metal structure. It looked like a giant ring or a crown made of some kind of advanced technology. The scientists had no idea what it was or how it got there. But they knew that it was somehow connected to the creature they had seen in the lab. As they approached the structure, they felt a strange sensation all over their bodies. It was a tingling, almost electric feeling that made them feel like they were being watched. They could hear strange noises coming from the device, and the air around it was shimmering and distorting. But despite the danger, the scientists were determined to find out what was going on. They reached out to touch the structure and were immediately zapped with a bolt of lightning. They fell to the ground in pain, and when they looked up, they saw that the sky had turned a deep red color. The portal was back, and it was growing larger by the second. The scientists knew that they had to get away from the device, but as they tried to move, they found that they couldn't. Their bodies were paralyzed, and they couldn't move a muscle. They screamed for help, but their voices were lost in the roar of the wind. Then suddenly, the portal erupted, and a massive blast wave knocked the scientists off their feet. When they looked up, they saw that the sky had become filled with strange symbols and glyphs. The air crackled with energy, and the ground beneath them trembled violently. And then, just as suddenly as it had appeared, the portal vanished. The sky returned to normal, and the only sound that could be heard was the wind. The scientists were left lying on the ground, weak and trembling. They had survived the explosion, but they knew that they would never forget what they had seen. They quickly contacted the authorities and told them what had happened. But when the FBI arrived at the scene, they found nothing but a small crater in the desert. There was no sign of the portal, the metal structure, or even the creature they had seen. The government quickly sealed off the area and wiped all public data of the incident, but the scientists knew the truth. They had witnessed a time portal that had opened up in their laboratory and allowed a creature from the future to visit them, but why did the creature come to see them? Was it a warning from the future or a message from a long-lost civilization? The scientists could only speculate. But one thing was certain. The government was not telling them everything they needed to know. There were rumors that the government was hiding the truth about the incident and that they had even detained the scientists to prevent them from talking. But no one knew for sure, and the government quickly moved in to cover up the incident. They brought in heavy machinery to fill in the crater, and the area was quickly restored to its former condition. As if nothing had ever happened there, the scientists were interviewed by the FBI and given memory erasers to wipe away all memory of the incident. But some of the scientists refused to take the memory erasers. They wanted to remember what they had seen and to continue searching for answers. So now there is a group of scientists who know the truth about the time portal and the creature from the future. But they are hiding in the shadows, afraid of what the government might do to them if they reveal what they know. 9 scientists at large. For many years, the existence of time portals was thought to be nothing more than science fiction fantasy. However, recent discoveries in physics have suggested that they may actually be possible. Some physicists believe that it may be possible to create a time portal by using wormholes. A wormhole is a theoretical passageway that connects to different points in space-time. If such a wormhole could be created, it could theoretically allow for time travel. However, creating a wormhole is extremely difficult and requires a lot of energy. Another way to create a time portal is to use a device known as a Typeler cylinder. This is a hypothetical device that consists of a long, thin tube that is filled with matter. By rotating the cylinder at near light speed, it is possible to create a closed time-like curve, which is a path in space-time that loops back on itself. This could theoretically allow for time travel, but again, creating such a device is extremely challenging and may not be possible with current technology. Despite the difficulties, scientists are continuing to explore the possibility of time portals and their potential applications. Some believe that time portals could be used to explore distant planets and galaxies, while others think they could be used to develop new technologies. However, many scientists also warn that time portals could be dangerous and could potentially create paradoxes and other problems. Before we go, let's look at why the government might be hiding evidence of a time portal. There are several reasons why governments might want to hide evidence of a time portal. First, they may want to avoid mass panic. The discovery of a time portal would likely cause widespread panic and chaos. Governments may fear that people would lose faith in their ability to protect them and may take extreme measures to try to prevent the end of the world. Another reason is that they may want to prevent time travelers from changing the past. If time travelers were able to change the past in any significant way, it could create a paradox that could potentially destroy the space-time continuum. Governments may fear the unknown consequences of time travel and may want to prevent it from happening. Finally, governments may simply want to keep the existence of a time portal a secret for their own benefit. They may want to study the time portal and its potential uses without the rest of the world knowing about it. Or they may want to use the time portal for their own military or scientific purposes. Whatever the reason, governments have a strong incentive to keep evidence of a time portal hidden from the public. Now for a video about something even stranger. Watch Alien UFO Highway Found in the Middle of Kansas, or check out the latest video.